she's scanning again.
In an article provided by the Our White House website, one of President McKinley's most famous quotes was, quote, "That's all a man can hope for during his lifetime, to set an example, and when he is dead, to be an inspiration to history." William McKinley achieved just this. He is now seen as an inspiration to history through the eyes of many Americans. Great presidents from the past create great presidents of the future, and with the upcoming election, we all might want to brush up on our history. William McKinley was a great man, both before he became president and during, but a gunshot ended both his life and his presidency too soon. William McKinley was a very successful man, even before he became President of the United States. According to an article entitled "The Assassination of President William McKinley, 1901, on the website eyewitnesstohistory.com, McKinley attended Allegheny College, located in Pennsylvania. Here he studied law and was a teacher at a country school, and while he was teaching, he enlisted in the Civil War and went to fight, and when he returned, he finished his schooling at Allegheny College, and he married Ida Saxton in 1871, and she remained his wife throughout the duration of his lifetime. With her support, he opened his own law firm, and at the age of 34, he was elected into the House of Representatives and served here for 14 years, but in 1892, he became the governor of Ohio, so he graciously retired from the House of Representatives and became the governor of Ohio, which is a big accomplishment for anyone. Stated on the website whitehouse.gov in an article named William McKinley, quote, "At the 1896 Republican Convention, the wealthy businessman Marcus Alonzo Hanna ensured the nomination of his friend William McKinley as the advance agent of prosperity. Great things were predicted of him, and William McKinley achieved great things throughout his presidency. He was the 25th President of the United States. His first term began on March 4th, 1897, and the Americans liked him so much that they re-elected him, and his second term began on March 4th, 1901. A few of his accomplishments were leading the United States to the victory of the Spanish-American War, and also he helped raise protective tariffs, which ultimately promoted American industry and actually put us to being such a great country that we are today. Only 6 months into his second term as president, McKinley went to the Pan American Exposition in Buffalo, New York, and ended up being shot twice while there, and this was on September 6, 1901. And according to the article, The Assassination of President William McKinley, 1901, that was previously referenced in the speech, he was shaking hands with people throughout the exposition, and one of his aides was actually extremely concerned. He thought that he was unnecessarily exposing himself to the public, and that, the chances of him getting hurt or injured or shot was at a higher chance. And President McKinley actually made the comment that he would be fine, nobody wanted to hurt him. But as he went to shake an anarchist's hand by the name of Leon Czolgosz, he reached out for his left hand, and Czolgosz had a handkerchief in his right, and he dropped the handkerchief, which revealed a pistol that he had in his hand, and he proceeded to shoot McKinley once in the chest, and it bounced off of his chest, and then second in the stomach, and that one ripped through his stomach. President McKinley didn't die right away, though. He suffered in the hospital for a few days and ended up dying on September 14th, 1901, and they ruled it complications of gangrene, and he had infection due to the gunshot. The shooter was executed on October 29th, 1901, and the method that they chose to execute him with was the electric chair, which was ironic because the theme of the exposition was actually electricity, because that was really up and coming at that time. On the same day that President McKinley died, the succeeding president, Theodore Roosevelt, took his oath and served President McKinley's the remainder of his time that he would have been in office. William McKinley lived a very successful life that was unfortunately cut too short. Whenever a president is assassinated, it's a tragic event, but we can all learn from history to keep it from repeating itself. William McKinley has truly been an inspiration to history. Thank you.